Hello, hello, hello. What is going on, everybody? It is your boy, Chris Avalon here, trying to adjust this camera as I get on you. Child, I'm like trying to do something new, trying to change the location behind me. I got a screen, and I know I'm on YouTube and things, but I got a screen behind me that's showing like screenshots of dicks and booties and things. This is my besties slash roomies computer. So I'm like, girl, I gotta use my back. Thank God for this big ass back of mine that I can block it all. But anyway, as I sip this tea. Right now I'm on hiatus from the radio show. There's been a couple of things that I've been working out. And there's a lot of shit that I want to get to. There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot of celebrity news and gossip that was going on. It wasn't really nothing happening until Nicki Minaj started doing her little, because that's what we're about to get into first. Nicki Minaj is on currently, going on the rounds to promote Queen, which I have heard. And I will give my opinion on it. Basically, I think it's a step up from what she's done. Like, there are a couple of songs that I actually like, but overall, I'll just say this. It's an album that the Barbers will definitely cater to, love, support, be behind. But as a fan of hip-hop, I've realized, like, while I do like a couple of songs that she does, and Nicki does go hard in a couple of tracks, and I like the dancehall stuff, and I like the song that she does with the Biggie sample, and which is like one of my shits back in the day that he did too. I live for that beat. Cause one Craig Mack used that beat too, but I could be mistaken. And I like all the West Indian dancehall type stuff, but overall, I'm just like, I appreciate what she's done. I appreciate how far she's come as an artist, but I just realized that I'm just not big on the, and that don't mean oh, you must be a Cardi fan, and you must be this. Everybody's allowed to have their opinions and things. In regards of like a full-on fun pop record, I will go with Cardi. Like, I like what she's bringing to music right now. Nicki is seasoned. Nicki is somebody who's been in the game for a long time. And like I said, I appreciate everything she's done. But one of the things I wanted to talk about was that Funkmaster Flex interview she did. Now, the interview was 120 minutes. I could only sit through about 55 minutes of it. And it wasn't because of her. Like, there was definitely a lot of jewels she was dropping. And I liked how she talked a bit about a lot of the stuff that was going on behind the scenes and how there is a thing that I think a lot of you guys don't know about. But there is a lot of pay to play that goes on in this industry. It's called payola, or there's many different names for it. There's a lot of people that have their hand, because, you know, these radio stations don't really pay that much. Why do you think, like, you see Charlemagne and who's the other one on Hana, Ebro and a bunch of them? They got like 55,000 jobs on top of doing their radio shows. Radio ain't paying shit, because radio, quite frankly, I don't know anybody that listens to. I don't listen to the radio. I will tell you the last time I listened to the radio. The last time I listened to the radio was when Wendy Williams was on the radio, and that was about 10 years ago. When Wendy Williams said goodbye and I'm about to do my damn talk show, that's when Chris said goodbye to radio and started going onto the internet, because radio just ain't happening no more. Like, radio plays the same 5 artists every 15 minutes, drives me fucking crazy, and it makes a lot of sense why a lot of my DJ friends get frustrated when they're out at the club and they're trying to play music. And back in the day, I remember, like, in the 90s into the 2000s, like, and even maybe earlier than that, but that was before I was even allowed to go to clubs. Like, early 90s, I was way too young to go into the clubs. I couldn't get into, like, bars and stuff, like, where I looked legal enough, until like 98, 99, and then so on and so forth. And by that time, New York City's club scenes was kind of on the cusp of on its way out. Like, the New York nightlife scene was starting to shift, because we had that asshole, that old Gorilla McGill motherfucker, Giuliani, came in and started like trying to destroy nightlife and go after Peter Gates. It's a whole shit. I'm not even going to try to sit up in here and talk about all that, but that was one of the so luckily I was lucky enough to go into the nightlife scenes and all other stuff, and that was back then in the clubs, especially the gay clubs. There were DJs that were breaking artists, that were putting music out there. I'm like, who is that? Oh, that shit is dope. I'm gonna go out and buy it. Who is this artist? Go to the store the next day, you buy the vinyl, or you buy the cassette tape, or you buy the CD, or whatever. But it's different now. Now it's like with DJs, it's like, oh, Like, you heard the Nicki Minaj just dropped the album. You listen to it on the way to the club. Now you want to come to the DJ booth and ask, can you play the latest Nicki Minaj record or the latest whoever, Ariana Grande? Like, bitch, didn't you just listen to her already? Like, why am I playing shit that is already being played on the radio 50 times a day? Like, some of y'all motherfuckers, I swear before God, y'all need to really do y'all research with music. Like, I'm somebody who's passionate about music, film, all that other stuff. So a lot of times if I'm into artists, I'm always online searching for the next new thing or trying to discover new talent. And people don't want to do that anymore. Everybody just wants stuff spoon-fed to them. But me, stop my rambling. When I want to talk about with Nicki Minaj is that I thought the interview was really good. What irritated me about the interview more so than Nicki Minaj, because I didn't find her irritating. I felt like she gave us a lot of juicy tidbits that we could sip on, and I'm going to break it down in this interview. In this post. One of the things that irked me was Funkmaster Flex. That motherfucker, that high voice queen didn't know when to shut the fuck up. Like, I'm like yelling at the screen while I'm watching it. Would you shut up? Like, let her talk. Like, he's always trying to talk about the artists that he's known and the artists he's come up with and how he felt with this and this. I'm like, we don't care about your opinion. Let Nicki talk. Like, ask her questions, let her answer. But then you will cut her off, and then he will always apologize. Sorry, Safaree, or sorry, this was something. Like, what the fuck you apologizing for? You asked the question, she's answering it. You can't apologize for what someone else said. But I think the reason why he was apologizing because he feels like, oh, well, if I don't apologize, then Safaree won't come on my show, or this one won't. Like, you sitting there talking about you can't be bought musically. You can't be bought when people are, you know, when it comes to the pay for play and all the other stuff, but you seem to be shucking and jiving when it came to the answers. And another thing that I got was that, and I was like, keep it real, and he wasn't, was when she brought up about her standards and like female standards versus male standards, and also if she writes her own music. Now, I've believed that Nicki Minaj has written her music. A lot of times you could tell with that, because Safaree used to always go around and claiming that he wrote her music. And there were times when it was like, yeah, when Nicki was acting stink and doing all the shit that she was doing, I would kind of jump on and be like, yeah, that bitch don't write her own rhymes. But I always believed that she writes her rhymes. I also believe that Nicki at times, when they have this thing called reference tracks and this, that, and the other, like you hear something that someone has already laid down and you take ideas and you kind of spin it into your own. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you already getting a pre-done track. A lot of singers do it. A lot of rappers do it. A lot of people do it. Anybody who works in music, where a track is already laid down, where it has like the melody, or it has a chorus written, or it has a couple of lyrics written here and there. And there's nothing wrong with taking that, a reference from something else, and making it your own. We all do it. I'm a writer. I take influences from things all the time and make it my own. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Do I think Nicki writes her own shit? Yes, she does. I do believe that she writes her own stuff. But I think what Funk should have been real about was the fact that women are held to a different standard, because I hear it all the time. And I read the comments where people always say, well, y'all automatically look at women, or y'all hold them to a whole different standard when it comes to them having ghostwriters or someone helping them writing tracks. Cardi B even admitted that she's had people help pen her some stuff. She's done it. Foxy's done it. A lot of people have done it. A lot of people have accused Lil' Kim of doing it. I don't know if Lil' Kim has admitted that she's had help on a lot of her writing. If she has, let me know in the comments. I don't know. I didn't have time to research all these artists that I'm bringing up as I'm having this conversation off the top of my head. So that was why I couldn't really sit with the interview for a long time, because it was like Funk Flex was getting on my nerves. Like, I feel like he's just irritating. He irritates me. And that was the only reason why I watched that interview, was because he was interviewing her and I wanted to hear what she had to say in a lot of the interviews. But she said a lot of interesting stuff. But Safaree was pissed off because one of the things that she mentioned in the interview was the fact that she said that there was, who was it? It was Bow-Legged Lou's son. She called his ass on the damn phone while she was on the air with Funk Flex because he asked the question. And he said that Safaree was nothing more than a hype man. Safaree does not write his own stuff. Safaree had other people writing his stuff for him. And I was like, I'm trying to remember Bow-Legged Lou. How was that? Full Force. And I knew them because a friend of mine, one of my really good friends who I went to film school with, Alex, I believe one of Bow-Legged Lou, or somebody within Full Force, is what is a godparent to one of his children. That's how I'm like, see, it's like, you know, you'd be surprised the people I know in this industry. But anyway, so Safaree went and took to social media after she went and said not only that, Not only like was talking about that he was only trying that was the one thing he knew that would hurt her, but also she said that he was cheating on her, he stole her credit cards, that he was paying with, you know, for prostitutes, and that his hairline is fake and a whole bunch of other shit, which I believe he admitted to. So here's his tweets. So he basically said, unless I really cared still, I could not let the mention of someone's name get me that riled up. That looks like someone who either still cares or just holding on to a lot of hate towards someone. How many times have I said I never wrote your raps? Nobody even talks about that anymore. But I could have sworn he did say that he wrote her raps. I don't know. But I was thinking the same thing. She said, oh, I'm not bothered. I'm not that upset. But if you weren't that bothered and upset, I could tell you were bothered and upset and you're still hurt by what Safaree said, because the tone of your voice pretty much said it all. That you were pretty much still upset with what Safaree had said. And one of the things, it seems like we know that the one thing that will get under Nicki's skin is if you talk about the fact that she doesn't write her own music. That she she has other people writing shit for her. That seems to be the Achilles heel for her. So if you accuse her, and like, look, let people talk, let people say what the fuck they want to say. People are always gonna. Here's the thing: you have to learn in this industry. You have to have a thick skin. People are always gonna have something to say about you, and you cannot be getting mad when somebody comes at you sideways with a criticism. Like, you've been in this business for what? I think she's been in this industry about as long as Lady Gaga, like over almost a. Has it been a decade? I think she came out in like 2008. It's 2018. Nicki's been in this, like, popping for 10 years. 10 years in this game, you have to know to, like, you got to have a thicker skin, especially in this era of social media where everybody's got an opinion about you and some shit. So, he also said something, because she went in on DJ Self too, and I'm going to unpack that in a minute because Safaree gets to that, but I don't want to, like, I'm going to jump to that in a second too. So she was like, you hold on to everything. Your problem with DJ Self is because me and him are so cool and nothing else. You have a problem with Mona Scott because she put me on the show. Let all that ish go, and now I stole your card, the one you gave me the pin for and had me doing ish with. So basically he was saying that Nicki had him running around as her errand boy because, you know, he wasn't working, which she basically said that he was being lazy and he didn't want to work and this, that, but now he got a job. I guess she was referring to Love and Hip Hop. Like, that's a bad look. People get in where you fit in. If you're not somebody who has the talent to write or be an artist, whatever, you use Love. That's what a lot of people use Love and Hip Hop for, as a staple or crutch, whatever, to get your whatever you're doing out there. That's what that is for. Like, nobody's gonna be as big as you, whatever the case is, but you find what you can, or you get in where you fit in. So anyway, she goes, we know each other inside and out. Everything there was for us. I didn't use your credit card for prostitutes. We both didn't trust each other. You did shit, I did shit. You said you were messing with Meek a few years before y'all got together, and I'm not mad at that. She admitted to that too. She said that they was messing around, and then she officially started dating Meek, but she ain't revealed that timeline of, was you messing with Meek while you was with Safaree? So I would love that clarification. I need somebody to go and interview Safaree, and let's get the other side of the conversation and keep this going. Because you know what? At the end of the day, I'm sure this is going to help her record sales. Word on the street is that Travis Scott may be the one to pull the #1 album and not Nicki. So they're kind of butting the neck and neck right now in regards of the record sales. Excuse me. So basically, he was just saying that, you know what, there was a lot of stuff that was going on. There was the relationship became toxic towards the end, and he left, and he was over it. And he also said something that she tried to kill him. He said, remember the night you cut me and I almost died? The police and ambulance had to take me out the crib on a stretcher, and I had to lie and tell them I was trying to kill myself so they wouldn't take you to jail. When things like that start happening more, then once it's time to dip. Well, you know, you fucking with a West Indian. You know them bitches is crazy. No shade, no offense, but just saying, a lot of y'all love pulling out weapons and all this stuff. I know. I live in New York City. I am from Brooklyn. Brooklyn got a lot of Jamaicans, West Indians, Bajans, you name it, they live out there. And I've seen a lot of y'all be cutting a motherfucker when they do something to y'all that y'all don't like. I've witnessed this. So, yeah, he said a whole lot. And I remember also on the Breakfast Club when they was talking about this, DJ Envy had something to say about it too. Because then he was like, so what if DJ Envy and DJ Self support me? They support you too. I've been places and they play your music all the time. Stop letting your hate for me reflect on how you treat others. You hate me, I love you. And that's another thing too. And I think that was one of the things, like, I don't take away Nicki's talent for nothing. One of the things I've always had an issue with her was that she's very petty when it comes to, oh, if you support this artist, I'm not supporting you. I'm not going to come on your show because you support this person. It's business. If I'm going to be friends with someone, I'm going to come on your show and I'm going to be fair and I'm going to be balanced if I interview you or whatever the case is. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, you like that person or you're friends with that person or you support that person. I can't be around you. That type of attitude, that shit got to stop. Like, I don't understand, like, how people getting their feelings over this stuff. And I feel like, Nicki, you are too damn sensitive. And if you're going to be in a business like entertainment, you really need to grow a thick skin. That's just the way the nature is. And then another thing, I'm trying to remember if I said it. When Funk Flex was talking something or another about the fact that he believed the fact that Nicki didn't write her own stuff because she's a woman. And I'm like, that is a go-to thing, because a lot of times women are held to a different standard than men when it comes to music. Because a lot of times you get a lot of these girls that are put out here that are manufactured, that don't write a lot of their music, that get help. So you have like that male big person. So say, like, for example, if Busta Rhymes had, or the biggest artist came out that's right now, like if Drake came out with a new female artist, or Travis Scott came out with a female protege, automatically y'all sitting there looking at it like, oh, well, this guy writes for her. Because we've seen this happen in the past. Meanwhile, there's a lot of male rappers, some of y'all favorites, that don't write their own shit. But I don't hear y'all getting mad and saying stuff about them, but y'all get mad when a girl don't write their stuff. So I feel like a lot of times, don't get so upset when people try to discredit your writing or you as an artist. Sometimes you just know what, you got to push harder and you got to show them that you are better, twice as hard, twice as fast. And she got to realize when you are at a certain pinnacle in your career, people are always going to have that target on your back and trying to think like you have to come 10 times harder. And Nicki should know that. It's like with Beyonce. Every time Beyonce comes out with a record, I'm sure she knows that she has got to come out 10 times harder than she did on Lemonade. So when she comes out with that new album, she got to come out harder than what she did with the last, because when you are a big time superstar, you are held to a different standard than, say, someone who has a lesser successful career, like a Sierra or a Tanashi or a Christina Milian or somebody like that. Like, if you're gonna, you have to come at it 10 times harder with that. So yeah, now she's in a situation with Nicki Minaj has got in a few. I'm spending way too much on this topic, by the way, and I got so much shit to get to. So so she got also in a feud with, because they were trying to say that they were trying to ignite a feud with her and Cardi. I don't know why, but apparently that's what people was trying to do. But anyway, so she ended the whole thing with her and DJ Self, who he got into it too. So he wrote in a deleted Instagram post, he was like, so you really mad who got the best female album out now? Wait, so you really mad who got the best female album out now? Talk to me. And basically she was saying that he was mad because she didn't give him a hug and refused to record a drop for him. So she wrote, he's mad because I refused to give him a drop or a hug. He was just up there dissing the bitch, thinking that would make me fuck with him. As basically the bitch that she's saying, which I don't know why you'd be calling somebody a bitch, but okay. She's basically saying that he was dissing Cardi B, but praising her. And then she goes, joke's on you again, once again, dummy. Passed on your meal ticket. Now you get crumbs from her table. You're a reality TV hoe. Used to be a respected DJ. They also claimed that Self was in the studio during her appearance on DJ Clue's show and said the DJ was trying to get a hug from her. Where my hug face ass, he said, where my hug face ass nigga, dissing another female rapper won't get me to like you. You hold no weight in this city. Nigga, look at your roster. I did Clue's show and he was up here looking like a sad kid, asking for a drop, trying to get a hug. I won't give you a drop. You're not a DJ hoe. So then also there was like a whole bunch of other stuff. So then she was something or another where, what was it? Why you wait till I leave? I got some hungry niggas with me, bitch. I'll be back tomorrow. So basically she was threatening him and a whole bunch of stuff, which I don't get that. Like, don't be on here threatening DJs or whatever with a bunch of foolishness. And then also Mariah Lynn, who you know is from Love and Hip Hop. It is assigned to Gwenin, which is DJ Self's company that she is signed under. So Mariah Lynn got into the fight too. Yeah, once upon a time, not long ago, I was a hoe. And I'm admitting it. You know that song. So she wrote, at Nicki Minaj, what type of whole time are you on? Crazy how you disrespecting the man who has helped so many people to advance and elevate their career, but I can't think of one single person that you have. While it's, I don't know what's, you know. So here's the thing. If it all boils down to it, and the DJs and everybody gets together and decides to ban Nicki Minaj and won't want to play her music, I don't think it's going to bother her anyway because she done dropped her own, don't she have her own radio show or something or another? So she'll probably use that on iHeartRadio to promote her music. So it is what it is, and I'll keep you guys posted on this as it occurs or as it continues. So speaking of which, we have a reuniting situation happening. And that is, excuse me, Danity Kane are back together. And everybody's like, what? Or who? Depending on who you ask. But anyway, you know, Danity Kane has had their ups and downs in the setting of this. So it's basically, it's not the whole group. It's Dawn Richard, Shannon Bex, and Aubrey O'Day are getting back together. They're DK3. I don't know if they're planning on releasing new music. I don't know if it's like that, but they've figured that they could put their differences aside enough to come in the name of business, come together in the name of business to put out some music. So the twist on it will be, and you can go on their Instagram or wherever to check, or their website. I'm sure they have one. Or check for release for dates if you guys want to go see them. But when it comes to Danity Kane, what's happening with them is that they have, what is it? So Dawn is going to be performing her solo stuff. You're going to have Shannon and Aubrey doing their music as Dumb Blonde, because I think it's an EP or an album. I don't remember. But they're gonna perform music from that. You know, Dawn has a huge catalog on her own because she's released a lot of her own music independent, and I like her music. I like where she's going with that. To me, I look at her as the Black Bjork. When it comes to the type of style of music that she does, her music is, to me, it's very creative, and her visuals are very avant-garde. If you haven't seen a lot of her videos, you should definitely check out her solo work. So I'm definitely a fan of Dawn. I'm a big fan of like underground, a lot of people who really aren't like these big major stars, because to me it's like you get a lot of more of the creativity without the powers that be always trying to come in and tell you what your music should sound like or whatever the case is. So yeah, so Dumb Blonde's gonna be doing their music, Dawn's gonna be doing her music, and then they're gonna be performing some of the Danity Kane hits. So you'll definitely be getting a lot of your faves. Probably be playing, you know, Damaged and Pretty Boy and a lot of the other hit songs that they've done. Because, you know, my favorite album is Welcome to the Dollhouse. Like, I don't care about the other stuff, but Welcome to the Dollhouse, that is like the gayest R&B pop album that I've ever heard. Like, I gets it in with that record. So, that'll be interesting to definitely see. I don't know if I'll be buying a ticket to go see them, but it's definitely a show to see. Speaking of tours, Bruno Mars has found Cardi B's replacements on the 24K Magic Tour. And so for the price of one, he got 4 people that he is going to be replacing Cardi B with, but on different dates. So it's not all going to be on the same thing. So Sierra, Ella Mai, Boyz II Men, and Charlie Wilson will be joining him for various dates on the 24K Magic Tour. I still can't believe he's promoting this album. The album came out like 2 years ago. Why are you still promoting 24K Magic? Shouldn't you be in the studio working on some new shit? But that's just me. But he took to Instagram to say, I was trying really hard to make a cool tour poster once we got confirmation on who's joining us on the finale of the 24K Magic Tour. But in my excitement, I forgot I suck at arts and crafts. Swipe left for the official announcement. That's funny. But, so yeah. So it's good. It's interesting. It kicks off September 7th in Denver, Colorado. And it wraps up on November 11th in Honolulu, Hawaii. So, each date, well, I'm sure they'll let you know which one they'll all be popping up on and so on and so forth. So speaking of Cardi B, you know, Cardi B is busy being a mom to baby culture, but she has had plenty of time to clap back at her haters. So she took to social media. I heard she's supposed to be coming out with something next month, too. So basically, because, you know, we were talking about in the beginning, Nicki Minaj dropped her new album. So now people are going on social media and trying to compare the two by saying who's who in the female rap arena, creating debates like credibility, payola, and politics lay at the center of the discourse. So basically we're trying to say that Cardi was paying people for spins and this, that, and the other. She finally was like, you know what, I've had enough with you motherfuckers, and I went on social media and she said this. She was like, let me tell you something. When I first signed to Atlantic, wait, okay, I'm gonna have to read it correctly because there's some misspellings and stuff a bit, no shade, but I'm saying, girl, you know, reading is fundamental. But anyway, she was like, I was convinced I was gonna blow up quickly. I put out lick and I didn't got the result, girl. I didn't get the results I wanted. I was going to Atlantic with a tantrum like, why my song not getting airplay? Why my record not doing good? And they couldn't help and told me, if the song not it, it ain't it. I was discouraged as fuck. Oh God, girl. Like, did she drop out of the 5th grade with this grammar? Anyway, let me just continue. And what she said, I'm thankful for Bodak Yellow because they have people and even the label believe in me. You can't not buy the general public. No machine, no money, can't buy that. Having stadiums sing out your shit, you can't buy that. Having artists listen to your music and supporting, you can't buy that. A #1, you can't buy that. If it was that easy, why can't you buy everything on the label one? You can't buy the people. That a fucking fact. I'm sick and tired of people trying to discredit me. I will not let nobody try to play me or make me feel like I didn't earn my fucking success. You can't buy what you're seeing on this post, and that's a fact. Well, there is politics and a lot of shit that does play in this thing, but however, with Cardi B, because look, Cardi B comes from reality TV. She is a stripper, a former stripper who started popping when she started putting up the funny Instagram videos. Her popularity took a liking, Mona saw all of that, saw her out, put her on Love and Hip Hop, instantly blew up because of her personality. I feel like Cardi's personality and her tenacity and who she is what got her where she is. I don't think that she could go, because if that was so easy, then every other bitch that's on Love and Hip Hop, from Mariah Lynn to Remy to K. Michelle, all of them could be up on there, and Spice, all of them bitches on all them shows could be up here trying to buy their way into a radio station. And I just feel like Cardi had something that a lot of these artists don't have, and she has that X factor. It's the personality, it's her drive and her endurance and all that stuff. That, to me, I feel is what got her where she is. And for people to always say that shit about her, like, I feel like Cardi is the real deal and she's just unfiltered and doesn't give a fuck and says what she wants to say. And for people to always kind of discredit her, I just feel like it's tacky, it's corny, and we need to move on from that and stop always trying to throw shade at this girl. And stop trying to compare her to freaking Nicki. Her and Nicki are two different artists in two different lanes doing two different things. So leave them be, please. Thank you. Let's move on. We can like them both. There's nothing wrong with liking Cardi and Nicki and embracing both women and wanting them both to win. Let's move on from that, because y'all just be getting on my fucking nerves with that shit. So let's move on to Tyrese and the fact that now he's talking about that he's broke. Didn't he claim that a couple of months ago, but all of a sudden miraculously found some goddamn money? Whatever, child. But anyway, so according to financial records he filed to the court, he can't afford his current lifestyle, which prevents him from paying his estranged wife's attorney fees. So he downsized, didn't he? I think he moved to Atlanta, which I think anybody could pretty much move to Atlanta because it's Black Hollywood and you ain't got to really pay that much money in order to like get your own place or whatever the case is. You could buy a big ass mansion looking type situation and it'd be under $1 million. So anyway, what he said was, okay, so according to TMZ, Tyrese just filed documents responding to Norma Gibson's request for him to pay for her divorce attorney, and they reveal some serious monthly expenses. According to documents, Tyrese says he dropped about nearly $114,000 each month for his mortgage, childcare, groceries, utilities, and $10K. What the fuck you eating? And $10K in child support payments to Norma. Here, don't he have 2 children with 2 different women? I think the current, I don't know, the current woman he's with, I don't know if she had the baby or she's still pregnant. So they said that the number apparently sounds like it's an issue because he said the docs, he's only bringing in $51K on average each month. Doesn't take a mad genius to see he's in the red. In fact, he says his savings have dwindled from $800K in cash last November to just $130,000 now. He's also blaming Norma for his lack of income, saying that the negative coverage he got last year when she accused him of domestic violence has made it hard for him to book movie work. That is a fucking lie. Number one, I do not believe that Norma has prevented you from making money. I think you have prevented you from making money. And if I told this story on my radio show on Saturday, I have no respect for this ashy motherfucker who had the nerve to go in on my girl Janet Jackson years ago. Remember, he did a song with Janet or appeared in her video or something or another a gazillion years ago. Talked mad shit about Janet. And this is off the record because a lot of y'all don't know this. When I used to work at AMC, he was a client or a talent that was coming in to promote a movie. I don't know, it might have been one of the fucking Fast and Furious movies, because you know that motherfucker don't do much but a Fast and the Furious movie. But anyway, so he came in, was talking shit about Janet in the elevator, and I'm over here, like, a friend of mine was overhearing this, and a bunch of us, all of us was there, and it was like, spilled, like, talking so much shit about her, and then at an award ceremony, got on stage and was performing with her, it was yeah, like hugging all over her like they besties. Tyrese is phony, he is a liar, he is full of shit. He is the worst fucking human being. And you know what? He is getting exactly what he deserves in regards of the bullshit that he's dealing with in this industry. So you know what? You get what you pay for. You talk shit about mad people. You're mad because Dwayne Johnson's career is bigger than yours. You're a mediocre actor. You had a decent ass voice, but you fucked that up. I'm sure there's plenty of girls that like to drop their panties for your corny ass. But Tyrese to me is a cornball. He's fake. He's phony. He's full of shit. And I don't like him. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, so yeah, I really do not have respect for him as a human being. Like I'm just over him. So it's unfortunate that he is the way he is, but you know what? God don't like ugly. And to me, I just feel like he brought this upon himself. He really has. And once upon a time, I liked Tyrese, but then all of a sudden, within the past year, I know he was going through a lot of stuff, and it is, you know, what is. Okay, so let's move on to Ms. Lindsay Lohan. So Lindsay Lohan has apologized for some negative comments that she has said that talk about the Me Too movement makes, ooh, excuse me. That's why you shouldn't be drinking soda before you do a show. You start feeling gassy and things. But anyway, so she's apologized for saying that the Me Too movement makes women look weak. So, oh yeah, I wanted to talk about this last week, but I didn't really have enough information, and I would have just roasted her, whatever the case was. Well, I don't even watch. Oh, I just saw this tea. Well, hold on now. Well, let me pull this up for a second. Because I just heard somebody quit a show called Southern Charm. I don't even watch that show. I don't even know why I would even want to talk about it. Somebody named Thomas Ravenel quit and said that because there's some rape allegations came out. He said that Bravo took advantage of him. Well, look, it's a reality show. Everybody takes advantage of everybody. Like, they get their shit from you and vice versa. I'm trying to look for this damn... while I'm trying to talk to y'all, I'm trying to find this Usher story because this is a juicy one. But we don't care about Thomas. Fuck him. We don't watch that damn show. Well, I don't. I'll just speak for me. I don't watch Southern Charm. I just find a lot of those shows that Bravo does as type corny. So I don't watch. But anyway. So she, okay, because I do my show on Saturday, so it's Sunday. But anyway, so she issued a statement on Sunday apologizing for her remarks and any harm inflicted. She says, the quote solely related to my hope that a handful of false testimonies out of a tsunami of heroic voices do not serve or to dilute the importance of the Me Too movement and all of us who champion it. However, I have since learned how statements like mine are seen as hurtful, which was never my intent. I'm sorry if my